Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to take a tour on some of the insanity going on for listings in Southwest Florida. People do not seem to believe some of the numbers that I'm putting out there, these $100,000 price drops, 200 days on market, things like that. It's that bad in a lot of situations, and it's a mix of people still are in the delusion that we're in the mania. Again, our prices are not back at 2019, 2020 levels. I don't know if we see those again, but they are not at 2021, 2022 levels either. They've seen really sharp corrections, asking prices. And people still think that that's where we are. So I hope this can illustrate a little bit the reality of the situation on the ground, because some of these numbers are going to blow your mind. Let's jump right in here. So I'm starting off with this house because it was built in 2020. Now, a lot of people who bought in 2021, 22 are putting their houses back up for sale, and they're going to make money. Don't get me wrong. So let's take a look here. We have this one listed at $350,000. It's a pretty nice house. It's a decent house. It's 1,400 square feet, 3.2 with a garage. However, I'd argue you can buy this house brand new for cheaper than this. And that is what the problem is for a lot of the people who built over the last 2 years. It's just, you can get this house at least brand new for probably about $350,000. But it's a nice place. So let's look at, let's see what the tail is. We're at $350,000. Guys, we've been on the market 517 days for a pretty much brand new house. What's going on here? Well, let's head down to the pricing section. I think you guys know where this is going. Listed in August of 2022 for $450,000. They bought it for $236,000, but hey, we want $450,000 now. We want to almost double our money. Why not? Everybody else is doing it. Well, price drop, $440,000. $430,000, $420,000, $439,000, $370,000. This is just a slow bleed. $350,000 is where they've landed as of January 4th, and it's still not getting it done. There's one illustration right there, guys. This is a $100,000 asking price drop. Let's go on to another one down in Punta Gorda, listed for sale in October, only October, for $450,000 in November. Not even 2 weeks later, they're down to $425,000. Another 2 weeks later, $399,000. And it goes pending at $399,000. And guess what, guys? It closes at $365,000. That's $100,000 almost off of what their target was. Jumping over to a recently sold property in Northport. Sold in 2017 for $220,000, comes on the market in 2023 in May at $479,000. This is a 3.2, 1,500 square feet. The people were asking $350,000 for a brand new one, and it's not under contract that we just saw. Oof. Okay, so it takes until July to do a price change, a meager $5,000. Then we're down to $449,000. Goes pending at $449,000. Comes back on. Price change $439,000, $429,000. You guys know where this is going. Listing removed. Comes back on in October for $425,000. Oh, it's bleeding down to $399,000. Gets a pending offer at $399,000 and still doesn't get asking price. At $375,000 they close, guys. And I'll hit you with one more of these because this was actually near one of my listings and I thought it was kind of funny. They listed this waterfront home in Punta Gorda for $615,000. It doesn't have a garage. I mean, it's got sailboat access. It's got a pool. That's cool. But that's $494 a square foot. I can tell you at the time, the closest comps were under $420 a square foot. So I know this because I sold one close by. $494 they decided to go. And that's on October 27th. By November 8th, they decided, well, we better slash this bad boy to $590. Then again, later in the month, $575. Listing removed. We're done. I don't like this realtor. You're out of here. Maybe not the realtor's fault. Comes back on at $535, goes pending, sells at $525 under ask. So even this house, sold at $525, was originally listed at $615, guys. These are the giant drops that I'm telling people about. And the strategy, unfortunately, seems to be, I'm going to list at the moon, and then I will come down to reality if I can get close to it, or I'll fire my realtor when reality smacks me in the face that nobody's looking at my house like this person did here. This is what's going on in the market, and why I'm telling people we are seeing enormous price cuts. And sadly, as you can see, even with those price cuts, they're not getting full price offers. It's Crazy. It's not a buyer's market, Ben. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Now, are these prices insane compared to 2019, 2020? Yes, guys. I understand a lot of people are like, these should be half off, but with inflation the way it is, do we get back to those prices? I don't know. I think that's going to be tough. But are we still in the mania? Absolutely not. We are absolutely not in this mania. And people keep pushing. There's bidding wars. People are going over ask. People are waiving contingencies. No, they are not. Like, not here, guys. I'd argue not in a lot of Florida, but not here. So read between the lines. Now, some people will get very upset when they see what those people bought those homes for and then what they asked for them. Oh, they bought these homes with great interest rates. Everybody's locked in under 5%. How could they be so greedy? Now, that's not necessarily true. Let me show you why. So an article out of bankrate.com stating home equity borrowing is on the rise. And I believe you guys know that this is absolutely true. As I've mentioned before, most people are just pulling out equity to maintain their lifestyle at this point. It's not even lifestyle creep. They're not getting too much out of it. But home equity borrowing is skyrocketing. And according to them, online searches for HELOC, home equity line of credit, rose 305% last year alone, 2023. Probably gonna go over that this year. And a report from the Mortgage Bankers Association projected that the debt from home equity loans, HELOC's fixed rate cousins, would increase over 11% in the coming year. And look at some of these rates, guys, 7.29, 7.4, 7.5. These are actually pretty good. If you're gonna do like a cash out or something, as I've told you guys previously, some of my mortgage guys were very busy in the fall just doing cash out refis. HELOCs now, I spoke to a lady the other day. She did a HELOC to basically redo her kitchen, which most people do. And that is sitting at 9% now that rates adjusted. So if you got a 4% mortgage and you got a 9% HELOC, where's the blended, what do you owe? And so that's why some of these people also can't go lower than some of these insane prices you've seen. If there's runway, people will take it, but a lot of people who bought recently immediately took out home equity lines of credit or immediately did cash out refis the next year because their homes had appreciated so much, ostensibly locking them in that house and not making that 4% interest rate, 5% interest rate really matter, because now they put themselves underwater. And that's why you'll see a lot of these listings stay and hang, because they're basically at the end of the line. And unfortunately, I think we're going to see more and more of that happening. If you've got the room to drop, as you can see, people are doing it. But when you see these crazy listings and they don't move, this is usually why. And I want to touch briefly on taking out equity to improve your house. What I tell people, make sure it's for you. What I hate to hear is if I walk into a house and someone's like, yeah, man, I did a home equity line, or I did a cash out refi, I redid the place, I'm ready to sell it. Oof. Not great. I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of the renovations you do to your home, they're for you. You do not usually get that money back. Will they make your home more sellable? Yeah, it'll probably make me easier. It'll make it easier for me to sell your house if you put a metal roof on. Can I get you the cost of that metal roof back? Probably not all of it. Pools are a big one. People are like, I'm going to put a pool in, I'm going to get ready to sell. Don't even bother, guys. Let someone else deal with the headache, because pools that were 40 grand 2-3 years ago are now 100,000. And putting a pool in your backyard is not going to jack your house value up 100,000. Another thing is kitchen renovations, bathroom remodels. Anything you do, someone else might hate. So you'll spend the money and you might think it's great and everyone might hate it. Generally, when I come through and I do a walkthrough for a house, and if it's not a safety concern, I don't really tell people to fix too much. I address safety concerns, maybe some paint, but other than that, if you're getting ready to sell your house, my advice would be do not dump a ton of money into it because you think that you're going to get it back, twofold. Usually around here, like I said, a metal roof, pretty good investment. It's going to definitely make your house more attractive. Hurricane windows or hurricane protection are huge right now. Again, you will not get the money invested back fully. It's pretty close from the last I saw on hurricane impact windows. You can almost jack the value of the house up for what you paid for it, but 90% of the time, it's not going to be a profitable venture at the end of the day. So let's take a look at Zillow's top 10 most popular markets. They all have one thing in common, which is size, but they also have pricing. Right here, they state all but one of the 10 most popular markets had populations under 100,000, with most having less than half of that. While home prices appear to be driving consideration of smaller cities, 2024 could bring a flattening of home prices in much of the country. It's like they keep saying that. And then they'll come out with a projection that they're going to go up 20% in 2 months. But what fueled it most? Affordability was the word on home shoppers' minds, and it shows in the most popular cities that buyers on Zillow gravitated towards. So what are those 10 most popular markets? Westchester, Pennsylvania, leading the way. College Town, if you guys have ever been there, it's a good time. They are up 7.8% year over year for a median price or a typical home value of $583,000, followed by New Hampshire, more New Hampshire, Connecticut, Ohio, Connecticut, New Hampshire. So Northeast, Midwest, people are pretty much heading there. Most popular seaside town, Portland, Maine. Not in Florida. Very interesting. Now, I hope you guys notice Florida isn't anywhere on those lists. No cities in Florida were on that list, is another reason why the sentiment here has really changed, guys. Most popular vacation town in Ohio, Vermilion, Ohio. Interesting. Most popular retirement town, Pinehurst, North Carolina. And I have mentioned numerous times here, guys, a lot of people heading towards North Carolina. A lot of people heading up there because it's still affordable. Will the pendulum swing back eventually and North Carolina gets crazy and then Florida looks more attractive? Most likely, but this is the start again of the trends. All these trends are coming together to kind of paint the picture of where I think we're going to be over the next year or two. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to change. Now, the next 4 to 5 months here in Southwest Florida, that is going to determine what our market's going to do. I would think probably for the next couple of years, barring some major interest rate adjustments or some, another crazy crisis happening. If we do not pull all of these homes off of the market in the next 6 months, it's a lot now, is all I'm going to say. Let's take a look at the trailing 7 days again on my MLS. I like to pop in here for that. And guys, pretty much almost identical to what I pulled last week for you. New listings, 245. Price decreases, 343. Back on markets, 50. We have 143 pending. 50 of those are going to fall apart. We only sold 72 out of 245 new listings. So I'm going to keep monitoring this. This is my weekly gauge. I hate to go week to week. I like month to month. Should have the new numbers out for you guys shortly that we'll dive into as well. But if you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.